1, Finkel started off with a mulligan, not exactly something a player wants to see in the final match of a Pro Tour. Pascoli started the first game off with a glimpse of things to come. His first turn Flamekin Harbinger stacked his deck with a Changeling Berserker, which had been an all-star for him all day long. Finkel had a Mosquito Guard to hold the Harbinger at bay, and it looked like it would serve double duty when Pascoli played a Sunflare Shaman on the following turn. Pascoli wanted to deal some damage though, and he cleared the guard out of the way with an Eyeblight's Ending before attacking for 3. Finkel waited until Pascoli's upkeep to play a Pestermite, locking down Pascoli's Lone Swamp. When Pascoli sent both of his creatures into attack, Finkel opted to trade his Pestermite for the Flamekin Harbinger, which prevented Pascoli from getting to champion it with his Berserker on the following turn. In fact, rather than play the Berserker and have to champion the potentially useful Sunflare Shaman, Pascoli instead opted to play a Firebelly Changeling and wait on the Berserker. Finkel dropped a Gold Metal Harrier and a Kithkin Zephyronaut onto this side of the table. The Harrier would be able to lock down the incoming Changeling Berserker until Pascoli found a way to rid himself of it. It didn't have haste like the Berserker though, and when the Berserker hit the ground running, the Harrier had to sit back and watch. Finkel missed his kinship on the following turn, but decided to get in there with the Kithkin Zephyronaut all the same. With his Gold Metal Harrier now online, he could keep the Berserker at bay. Unfortunately, it appeared he didn't have another play and would have to rely solely on the Harrier for defense. Luckily for him, Pascoli didn't have any reinforcements either and was forced to simply pass the turn after Finkel tapped his Berserker. Finkel revealed a Kinsbell Skirmisher with his Kithkin Zephyronaut's kinship effect, which he promptly used to pump the Zephyronaut and then play the Skirmisher to pump it again. With the Zephyronaut sufficiently, quote, turned on and pumped, Finkel sent the temporary flyer in to hit Pascoli for 5. During Finkel's instep, Pascoli threw his Sunflare Shaman at Finkel's Gold Metal Harrier. That let Changeling Berserker out of solitary, and it immediately charged over to celebrate his newfound freedom with Finkel's creatures. After all was said and done, Finkel chose to block the Berserker with his Zephyronaut and Skirmisher, and then dispersed his own Kithkin Zephyronaut after damage went onto the stack. A Brighthearth Banneret ended Pascoli's turn, and it was time for Finkel to start to rebuild, which he did with the Kithkin Greatheart and the Kithkin Zephyronaut from earlier. At the end of Finkel's turn, Pascoli used Makeshift Mannequin to return the Changeling Berserker to play in place of the Banneret. The Berserker and Firebelly Changeling charged in ready for blood, and the Firebelly got what it was looking for as it traded with the Greatheart. Finkel dropped to 5, which you may have noticed is only a single shot from the Berserker. Finkel missed his kinship on the next upkeep, which meant that there wouldn't be any new reinforcements, and the Zephyronaut was regulated to a mere chump blocker. Finkel drew his next card and then used the 2 lands he had in his hand to scoop up the 7 others he had in play. The first game goes to Mario Pascoli, up 1 game to Jon Finkel's 0.